Oh, yeah, that feels good. What a wonderful woman. Got to get that recipe for crumb cake. One of my favorite occupants. Well, hi once again, home viewers. As that noticeable lull in the show indicates, it's time for the Starland Vocal Band mailbag. Our first letter this week comes from Barbara Streisand of Hollywood, California. Barbara did not include her age. Remember to put your age on your letters, boys and girls, and if you're not sure, ask Mom and Dad. Barbara writes, Dear Starland Vocal Band, how old are you? How much do you weigh? How tall are you? P.S. Is one of you really John Denver? Well, Barbara, those are questions we get all the time, but believe me, they are the kind of questions we never get tired of answering. So here we go. The Starland Vocal Band is 113 years old. They tip the scales at a trim 538 pounds and are 22 feet 8 inches tall. In fact, if you laid the Starland Vocal Band end to end, and I've seen it done several times, they would be long enough to cause passers-by to remark, call the authorities. And in answer to your last question, is one of the Starland Vocal Band really John Denver? We hear this one all the time. No, one of them is not really John Denver, but we don't know which one. Well, that's all the time we have for the Starland Vocal Band mailbag this week. Remember, we cannot return envelopes, so send your letters in envelopes that you don't need anymore. You'll be glad you did. Hello, I'm Dave Letterman, standing at the base of these world-famous steps located somewhere, and as you know from looking at your television schedules, originally we had planned to interview Rocky Balboa, the Italian stallion, but apparently he's, perhaps this is him coming now. Hold the water ski film, we may be going to that. Yes, it is. It's Rocky Balboa, and you know, up close, you're nothing. Lovely, isn't it? Georgetown, the Potomac River. Quite a beautiful scene here in Washington. And now we'll be taking you to another lovely city, the city of Los Angeles, California, where, because it's a typical day in the summer in Los Angeles, you won't be able to see a darn thing. Then you'll also see the Starland Vocal Band hard at work at the Cherokee Recording Studios on Fairfax. Got here as fast as I could. We're down the street. I'm Dave Letterman, and welcome to Starland Vocal Band Collapsible News. In order to conserve electricity, the world-famous Hotel Gimlet has recently installed the much-talked-about, highly controversial dynamite-powered elevators. We are about to witness the first actual stately old Gimlet is Earl Hofert, developer of the dynamite-powered elevator. In just a second, Mr. Hofert will throw the switch, which will send a carload of hotel dignitaries and local socialites racing up the shaft to the famous Gimlet rooftop gardens. Okay, Mr. Hofert, throw the switch. In other news, after intensive study by a U.S. Geological Survey team, the state of Montana has been declared too wide. Thanks for watching Starland Vocal Band Collapsible News. You'll be glad you did. Good evening, I'm Dave Letterman, Starland Vocal Band man in the street, and with me here is a man with a fascinating tale. His name is Marty, and Marty, I understand you're on vacation. Is that correct? All the way from New York?
All the way from New York.
And Marty, what other wonderful things have you done on your vacation besides stand in this parking lot?
I went to Disneyland.
Oh, quite a trip for you, Marty. Listen, thank you so much. Hope you enjoy those parting gifts, the luggage, the canned ham, so forth. Okay. Oh, so here's somebody I know all about. You know, not everybody knows that the Starland Vocal Band is not an only child. With me at this moment is the Starland Vocal Band's brother, Billy. Billy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I wonder if you could tell us some stories about childhood with the Starland Vocal Band, if you will.
Well, shoot,
Well said. Isn't he articulate? Billy, I understand that the band developed their unique style of music back in 1968.
68, that's, I like cars. See, 68 is about the GTO, and, yeah, and I traded in an old Buick for it, 56, I got a good deal,
yeah.
Marvelous deal on that.
Yeah. Now, Billy, nobody really cares about your stupid cars. We're actually interested in the Starland Vocal Band, you know?
Yeah, well, look, you'd be the first guy to come to me with a gummed-up carburetor, and all you had to fix was some kind of guitar pick or something. You know, that kind of makes me mad.
You know, Billy, your eyes really twinkle when you say something moronic like that.
I like to twinkle you.
Okay, you want to put Billy back up on the lift?
On the lift.
Thank you so much, Billy. Oh, okay, here we go.
Hey.
Well, hello there,
I hope
son.
you finally have our T-shirts ready. We've sort of been waiting for him to do a scene.
Oh, I've been waiting for the shirts, have you?
Uh-huh.
Cool off, big time. I got them right here. I remember you. I remember your shirts. Let's see. It was the Starfish
Starland Vocal
something.
Band. Starland Vocal Band.
Rock and roll group, huh? You kids.
Come on.
Here they are. There you go. Woo.
Starfish Vocal Band.
Yeah, those are nice shirts, too. They're lined with aluminum. You can wear them outside. They're your all-weather shirts.
Vocal Band.
Starving Vocal Band,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
That's not right.
It's not it's close enough, isn't it?
It's getting closer.
Son, in this world, if you can get close.
Sweatband.
Local Clan. Right. Well, you know what I was thinking? Maybe on some of these, a magic marker, and you could cross them out and put in...
Yeah, but I can't pay you for these, because they're not right.
What do you mean you can't pay me?
They're not right.
Picky.
Oh,
What's a couple of
okay.
mistakes?
Here's one. Finally, we got one right.
Sure, of course. Go ahead,
Great.
slip into that, why
At
don't you,
least-
son, and take care of that bill. Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah.
You'll love it. You guys are going right to the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so are you, big guy. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Say hi to the Beatles for me, huh?
Sure.
Okay. Well, hi there, all you goofy sports fans. Looks like we're all set for what, in my opinion, is the most grueling test of speed and endurance known to the racing world. Of course, I'm talking about America's racing classic, the most demanding challenge yet devised for man and horse, the Kentucky 500. Well, there they go for what many still call the 24 Hours of Louisville. But by whatever name, it's still an awesome accomplishment. 500 miles around this track, a full day and night, with speeds expected to hit 200 miles per hour on the straightaway. Critics, of course, still question the danger and cost, but isn't this, after all, the price of progress? Unless we push man and beast to their limits, how can we design the saddles and horseshoes of tomorrow? And now down to Miami, Florida for a special report on greyhound racing. And believe me, there is no greater thrill in all of sportsdom than the sight of those big silver buses loaded with tourists thundering past the checkered flag. Hi there, home viewers. Let me ask you something. Are you bored, dull, half goofy? Well, if you mumbled yes to any of those questions, what you need is your very own federal grant. Yes, federal grants, all approved and sillier than ever. You'll get fame, respect, and big laughs when you tell your friends what stupid thing the government is paying you to study. I know I can hear you saying, I don't have any spare time. I don't have any experience. I'm dumb. Don't fret. Why should you be any different from any other federal grant holder? Just listen to these U.S. government federal grant offers. $200,000 to find out if the residents of the Philippines think the name of their country is spelled correctly. Love medical records? Here's one for you. $800,000 to determine if haircut has ever been listed as anyone's official cause of death. These won't last long. Let Uncle Sam give you big money to waste your time. Here's my favorite. $90,000 to find out if gold lame can be described without using the words cheap-looking. So hurry, hurry, hurry. These won't last long. Send today to Federal Grants. That's Federal Grants. Prices slightly higher in Canada. Void where prohibited by law. May not be suitable for pre-teenagers. Penalty for early withdrawal. Paid for by... Worth staying home for, huh? Time now to go listen to the Starland Vocal Band record at the Cherokee Recording Studios. You can't miss it. Got a huge Indian on top wearing earphones. Oh, I think my favorite's airmail. I just love to watch those babies fly. Woo. Hi there, home viewers. It's time for the Starland Vocal Band mailbag. Now, this week's letter comes from a disgruntled fan in Mars Hill, Indiana, who writes, Dear Starland Vocal Band, my half-sister Arlene and I is having an argument about your show. Arlene says you don't really have an audience, and all that silly laughter we hear when you say something stupid is just canned and phony. I bet Arlene a new set of tars that you does actually got a studio audience. Your friend Babette. Well, Babette, you've won yourself a new set of tars. In compliance with the 1926 TV Studio Audience Act, we do have a live audience, as must all TV shows. Even Gunsmoke had an audience, but they never laughed because the show wasn't funny. So if you folks in our studio audience will give yourselves a big hand, we'll show Arlene and Babette just what you look like. Remember, if you would like to be a part of our studio audience, you must be appointed by your congressman and adhere to our stringent audience dress code. let's take another look. Just look at our happy audience. Hey, they're having the times of their lives, aren't they? And why not? Because each and every audience member receives a valuable gift from the Starland Vocal Band. Audience, show the folks at home the valuable gift you each received. Hey. Now you know why tickets are so hard to get. Well, that's all the time we have for the Starland Vocal Band mailbag this week. Thanks for watching. You'll be glad you did. Hi there, home viewers. Welcome to Starland Vocal Band Man on the Street. And boy, today's our lucky day. Look who's here. It's our old pal, Zorro.
Uh-huh. Watch the hand. Watch me. Watch real close. Watch. That's coin number one. Coin number one in the hand. Look, watch closely. Coin number one. It's gone. Gone, completely gone from this hand. Gone from here. Why, sure, it's behind Dave's ear.
You pull one more coin out of my head, I'm going to deck you.
Uh-huh. What somebody needs for the family, a deck of cards. Not funny, not shaved.
Much like yourself.
I don't think that's real funny, pal.
Now, boys and girls, aren't you glad Mom and Dad let you stay up late to see Marano the Clown?
I've had enough, man, forever.
Here we are at Turkey Run Farm.
Hey, watch it, kid. You're plowing up my crop.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize this was your garden.
I'll tell you something. This baby is a lot more in the garden. This here is a farm, and the success of the early settlers' crops often meant life or death.
Just what are you growing?
Well, over there by the ridge, I got oats. Down there, we got soybeans, corn, alfalfa. I'm putting in some wheat in a couple of days. Right here, I'm raising rabbits.
Rabbits? What do you mean, rabbits?
You know, hares, bunnies, cottontails, hippity-hop, Easter eggs, rabbits.
Where?
Right in front of your eyes. See, now what you do, you plant their tails in the early spring. You get the right kind of rain, and just about Easter time, the tips of their ears start busting up through the soil. By that time, it's just a matter of keeping the weeds out. Let me show you one here. I got one just ready to pull, I believe. Now, let's see. Just grab onto them and, oh, I mean, these critters are lively when you first pick them. Now, in a couple weeks, you'd have had fully developed hind legs, and salt and butter on these is extra good. Oh, and take it up to the house.
I'm a vegetarian.
Oh, okay.
Pretty fair maids and kind sirs, welcome ye to the Renaissance Pleasure Fair. A slice of life from a merrier land and a lustier time that you can relive anon.
Hi there, I'm Dave Letterman here at the Renaissance Pleasure Fair, where medieval life is depicted. Now, let's take a look at this outfit, for instance. Those folks were smart back then. Clothes today you buy very often don't have the backup sleeve system that we have here. Now, how many times have you been in church, a party, or a picnic, one of your sleeves goes up in smoke? Not with this baby. Always got an extra pair. Or how about two real close friends? Well, here comes an interesting-looking medieval merrymaker. Excuse me, sir, what do you do here at the fair? What part are you dressed up for today?
My name is Leonard Moon.
Leonard, what part are you depicting today, Leonard, at the fair?
I am the Renaissance man.
Renaissance.
That's right.
Renaissance man. What does a Renaissance man do, Leonard?
He has little bells and sings and dances like the OJs.
Little bell.
And
Okay. How did you get the part, Leonard, of the Renaissance man?
I was the only one that fit this costume they had.
Only one that fit the costume. Now, I thought a Renaissance man was an artist, a poet, a philosopher, someone who was a master of all they surveyed, and you don't appear to be any of those things. Are you sure you're the Renaissance man?
Well, I know I am not the Renaissance women.
And a middle-aged sense of humor, too.
Thank you.
Listen, we've been talking with Leonard Moon here at the fair,
right.
our Renaissance jerk. Okay, wait in the
Zero.
meat truck, Leonard.
Nothing gone. Bye-bye. Out
Thank
to
you
lunch.
so much,
Don't
Leonard.
call me no jerk.
Sharp
Be
guy
prepared
like
to
yourself.
lose your eyeballs now, man, because...
Well, hey, wait. Okay, there we go.
I see you.
Hey, can I see one of those aluminum hats?
Aluminum hats. Hats. Here we go. Hats. They're real nice, too. There you go.
Nice hat.
How about you? You in a hat?
Oh, no, I came in for some pair of gloves.
Pair of gloves,
Yeah.
gloves. Here are the gloves right here. These babies are warm.
Oh, boy, I'll bet.
Anything else for you guys?
That's enough for me today, boy.
Okay.
Nice gloves.
Mister, you sure this is my size?
Let me see. Maybe we ought to take that baby in a little bit. Boy, that's you, though. You know what I mean? You will drive the honeys loopy. Woo! There you go. Now, maybe... Oh, sleeves could be a little shorter, I guess. Let's try this one. Hi there. We've been talking with a fascinating gentleman. This is DeWitt Farbler from Washington, who claims to be a tourist, but I think we can all see that he's actually with the CIA. And thank you for being with us, DeWitt. We'll have some lovely gifts for your home in Central America. And here's an interesting-looking fellow. Excuse me. I'm with the Starland Vocal Band Show, and we'd like to spend a few minutes talking with you if we could.
Of course, anything you like. Yeah, go right ahead, sure. Whatever you say.
Oh, I thought you were American.
Well, no, you see, I'm actually with the British consul, and I'm here to...
Sorry, Limey. This is an American television show. We want to talk to real Americans.
Well, my goodness, we were allies during the war, you know, and...
Not during the Revolutionary War, buddy. Maybe you can forget Bunker Hill, but I can't.
I think you're being quite unreasonable, don't you?
Why don't you put this in your pipe and crumpet?
Defend yourself.
Taxation without representation, my...
Hey, they're loving it, boy. Hey, look at this. Shake them down. Oh, hi, Grandma. Yeah.
Hey, what if these pictures don't turn out? Don't worry, we hired a professional.
Hi there, what'll it be?
Hi, we're here to pick up the publicity pictures for Starland Vocal Band.
Oh, yeah, I remember. The special order. The cute stuff.
Thank you.
Here you go. 297 goofy faces. One of the three main reasons cameras were invented. History, beauty, and, as you can see, goofy faces.
These aren't right.
Yeah, and this one, John was throwing a frisbee across the Potomac River. Where is he?
Oh, yeah, on that one, see, the angle was too wide, so I just cut him out.
Well, I definitely remember Bill was putting his shoes into the microwave oven, and I don't see the shoes, and where's Bill?
Hey, listen, I'm an artist. I take pictures the way I feel. I'm a pro. What do you guys know about it?
I know there are 4 of us in the group.
John and Bill aren't in any of these.
Listen, you want some professional advice? I would drop those 2 stiffs like a bad habit. You know what I mean? They do nothing but bozo up the act.
What do you suggest?
What you need is a good-looking guy like myself. Here, let me show you. Just stand over there, girls. All righty, big smile, a little closer together. Here we go, kids. Yes, sir. All right, let's see. Take a look at that baby, huh? We know what we're going to do. Good evening, I'm Dave Letterman, and welcome to Starland Vocal Band Collapsible News. Well, residents of Yazoo, Mississippi are still muttering to themselves in disgust this morning after high federal officials announced that the community was no longer part of the United States. A spokesman for the administration explained that the town of Yazoo City had been ousted from America because of its dumb name. Other cities expected to get the boot are Ypsilanti, Michigan, Paducah, Kentucky, Yuba City, California, Yatapolgus, Georgia, and Gila Bend, Arizona. Good evening, I'm Dave Letterman. As another public service of Starland Vocal Band Collapsible News, at this time, I would like to explain the entire metric system. Yes, I can hear sets being clicked off all over this great land of ours. You know, since we will be switching to the metric system just any day now, it's important that we all understand exactly what a meter is. I do it with a simple little slogan, sort of like I before E except after C. Well, with the meter, it goes like this. Say it with me a couple of times and you got it. A meter is 1,600,000 wavelengths of the isotope krypton measured in a vacuum. Probably a Hoover. Boy, there's comedy everywhere you look these days. All right, first of all, I'd like to show you an American foot. This has 12 inches. Here now, a metric foot. It has 30 centimeters. And yes, you guessed it, an athlete's foot. It has 5 toes unless the game has been unusually rough. Okay, now, since 1 dozen equals 30 centimeters, then likewise, 1 dozen eggs now becomes 30 eggs. But because they are the new metric eggs, they will be much smaller. Little teeny fellas. Finally, let's just assume that my girlfriend Arlene was a perfect 36. Well, because of the metric system, Arlene now becomes a perfect 91, and as you can see, a real problem to shop for.
Taffy, Bill, Margot, and John fondly remember their favorite place when they were kids, the Crystal Pool at Washington's Glen Echo Park. Come along with them now to once upon a time when the Crystal Pool even had water.
Oh, we ain't got that much money. Maybe we're side by side. Oh, we don't know what's coming tomorrow. Maybe it's trouble and sorrow, but we'll travel the road, fearing our load.
Yeah, you know him, you love him, you can't live without him. My buddy, John Kelly.
Good evening, I'm Dave Letterman, welcoming you to historic Georgetown. You know, when you think about history, you just naturally think about dead people. One of my favorite dead people has always been Thomas Jefferson. Yes, Thomas Jefferson, our third or fourth president, depending on how smart you are. Now, not everyone knows or cares that our world is filled with contributions made by the early American statesmen. Perhaps the most lasting contribution, the one which we deal with on a day-to-day basis, is the dumbwaiter.
Excuse me, Mr. Letterman. Here's your Cherry's Jubilee.
I didn't order Cherry's Jubilee. You just set fire to my class linguine.
Shoot. I'm sorry, Dave. Haha. I'm just a real dumb guy. Here, set fire to my vest.
The next time this happens to you, just remember, we have Thomas Jefferson to thank for the dumbwaiter. You'll be glad you did. Hi there. In just a few minutes, we'll be rejoining Taffy and Bill for a fascinating interview with a man who claims to have invented the 36-slice toaster. But right now, it's time for another one of our Starland Vocal Band Man in the Street interviews. And whether it's raining or shining, Starland Vocal Band Man in the Street is always hard at work.
Hi.
What a stroke of luck that is.
Listen, you got to get me their autographs right now.
Excuse me, Wimpy, I'm right in the middle of a thing here, so if you don't mind.
No, wait a minute. You don't understand. See, I need a songbook or an autograph or a button or something. I'm hooked on the Starland Vocal Band.
Look, pal, you are lucky to be awake. Besides, you don't want me. What you want is the Starland Vocal Fan Office. I believe I have the number here somewhere.
I don't want the number now. I want an autograph or a songbook or pictures or something. You see, it's been too long since I've had read my last fan club book. I don't like this rain.
You hit the road, meat brains.
Hit the road.
I
know you've got some things on you like buttons in here. Huh?
Don't touch me.
You've got something in here. I know. Give me. I'm Twinkle.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night. Let's go get some coffee. The finest crew in the world. There they are.
Also starring tonight with the Starland Vocal Band were me, Dave Letterman, Jeff Altman,